Hey Flosstube, it's Katie the Stash Queen coming to you on this Monday, June the 27th. I hope everyone has had a wonderful stitchy week. I had a very busy week. My brother and his girlfriend were in town, so we had lots of family things and lots of just fun stuff that made me really busy, but it was a good week. I have a couple of announcements, well actually one announcement really. I have decided that my weekends have gotten way too busy, and Mondays are seeming to be the better day right now for me to do my videos. So from now on, I am just going to plan on doing my videos on Monday rather than on Sunday. We'll see how it goes during the school year. Should be easier that way too, because the kids will be back in school. But just as an FYI, Monday is going to be the new day for Stash Queen videos to be uploaded. Also, yesterday was my 1-year Flosstube anniversary. Yay! Hard to believe I've been doing these for a year, but hip hip hooray! So, got lots to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. First off, I have my Q&A, which is combined for the last couple of weeks, so there's a little bit more than normal. Green-Eyed Stitcher asked, after you order from Stitchy Box, about how long does it take to receive your order? If you are talking about the actual Stitchy box itself, those come out every other month. So it depends on when you ordered versus when sorry, I had a message pop up. When you ordered versus when the mailing part comes out. If I'm just ordering from the supply shop, I usually get it relatively quick turnaround time. Never had any complaints. If you have a concern about anything, message Liz. She'll be happy to help you. Crafty Angie asked, do you have any magazine subscriptions, or do you just go to Barnes & Noble and pick what you like up? If you do have subscriptions, which ones? I subscribe to Just Cross Stitch and to Cross Stitch and Needlework. Those are the two American-based magazines. I do not subscribe to the British ones anymore. Those are the ones that I will pick up over at Barnes & Noble. Karate 37T said, on the perforated plastic for the My Little Ponies, do you use all 6 strands of coverage, or how many do you use? I only use 3 strands, and it's providing really good coverage, so I think 3 strands should work just fine. Carol Brown says, do you use a stitcher's half of fabric? Sometimes, depending on the piece. I have, or had, it's kind of deplenished some of that stash, quite a few fat halves in my stash. There are only a few pieces I can think of where I've actually used a full fat half and needed the full fat half. First one I'm thinking of is the Clouds Factory Sal from last year with the Zodiac. That was on a fat half, and I pretty much needed that full fat half. But I have used them if I need to. Squeaky35 said, can you tell me where you got the flowers in a teacup stitch? I would love to get that one. I'm assuming you're meaning the Vermilion Stitchery teacup collection. Unfortunately, it's not available online anymore. It was a freebie. The designer passed away a few years ago. Last I heard, her children were trying to figure out a way to get those patterns as well as others that she had designed up and elsewhere. I have not found them online. I saved them several years ago. Sorry. Then Chris Cross Stitcher, how long until Doctor Who is back? Sniffles. There will be a Christmas special at Christmas time this year, but there won't be another season until 2017. So we'll have to wait until 2017 to have another full season. Sorry, I've got stuff appearing and disappearing, and my screens are going crazy, and Christine Lorino asked, I wanted to know if you knew a company that does weeks or any other floss like Gentle Arts threads for thread of the month. I think being the operative word here, Stitching Bits and Bobs does something like that. I'm not 100% sure because I don't partake in them, but look at Stitching Bits and Bobs. Kate, the Queen of Starts, might have some more information. I know she gets a couple of other different floss subscriptions, but I think Stitching Bits and Bobs does. Let's see here. 3 Bluebird says, I have 2 questions. The first one may have already been answered, but I don't remember. How did you and Coffee Stitcher meet? We met online through Stitchmania, actually. When Stitchmania started, I guess last year, I found out about it on a blog that I followed because I wasn't doing Flosstube at the time. I wasn't really overly involved in the Stitchy community on Facebook at the time, but a blog that I followed was advertising Stitchmania, and I don't remember which blog. It wasn't Coffee Stitchers, it was someone else's blog. And so I joined Stitch Mania, and he and I, he was in a couple other groups that I was in. I mean, I was a member of groups, I just wasn't really overly actively posting. And we had talked a couple times between admiring whips and just a couple of life things going on, and the rest is history. Then, let's see here. And how many boxes of plastic storage bags do you think you buy in a year? A lot. A lot. And that's the technical determination. Tammy Neal says, forgot to ask, why do you put your pattern pictures in a pile on your right, which would be over here, and put the project bag on your left? On my left, off screen, are the two big boxes where I keep all of my whips. I have a box of A through M and N through Z, and so I put the finished pattern or the pattern that I'm not working on anymore into whichever box. On the right-hand side, I have a couple of boxes that hold my year of starts that are all kitted up for the next coming month. And I have binders on the top of it. Here, let's see if I can show you. I have 3 of these kind of binders on the top. This is the 4th one. This one I take with me with my patterns in it for the week that I'm working on. Then I have one of them is filled with the patterns for the year of starts, and then the other ones are for my whip patterns. So I put things over here so I can organize them later. Is the actual chart in the bag? If it fits in the bag, like Mira's, Little House Needleworks often fit in the bag. If it's a smaller chart, I will put the chart in with the pattern. But if it's a larger chart that fits better in a page protector, then I leave it in the page protector. And then, yeah, so what do you do with the pile on your right after the video closes? I put stuff away. So if it's stash, I put it where I put my stash stuff. If it's patterns, I put it in my pattern drawer. If it is new patterns, I put it in the pattern drawer. If it's patterns for whips that I've done, I put them in the right place in the binders, which I keep in alphabetical order. It's just easier to keep it organized at the end of the day. Brown-Eyed Girl said, how do you keep track of all of your supplies? When you're showing all the projects, you know what the fabric is and where you bought it from. I don't take the tags off of my fabric anymore. I used to several years ago, but I don't take the name of the fabric off the fabric itself until I'm done using it. But on my cross stitch app, it has in there information for linen notes and all that, and I put that in there when I'm kitting up a project so I can keep easy track of it. Let's see here. Isla, sorry. B said, I love the Clouds Factory postcard sampler. Is there a Facebook social group to follow people's progress on this one? There is a Clouds Factory Funky Stitchers group. It's not just for the postcards, but it's for all of the Clouds Factory ones, kind of like the Frosted Pumpkin has one. I'll put a link to it below. Let's see here. Madison Kearns asked if I ever use Audible. I don't. I love to read. I don't, but I don't use Audible because I prefer to be able to focus on my reading. I can watch TV and stitch all day long. I can listen to music and stitch all day long. I cannot read or have Audible going because I want to actually focus and pay attention to what I'm reading. It's just not something that works well for me. Stash It and Stitch said, what's the difference between a colonial knot and a French knot? It's a different way that the thread goes around the needle. Colonial knots, they give pretty much the same effect. Colonial knots are generally easier. If you look up a couple of tutorials on Flosstube, there should be some showing how it's different. Button Addict said, obviously in Texas, it's hotter than most areas of the US, but I find in the summer, I feel like my needle gets a sticky residue on it when I'm using it. Do I notice the same thing? I don't, but I also have a very air-conditioned house because it does get very, very hot here. And so my house is always relatively cool. So I don't notice that sort of thing, really. Millie Allian Mildred A said, 2 questions. What do you use so that those dimensions fabrics don't fray? I don't use anything. She said, I've seen you pull them out and put them away multiple times, but never a floating thread from the fabric. If there is a floating thread at some point, I pull it or I snip it and I put it in with the rest of my orts. I don't deal with setting up for the fraying edges. Second question, how and what is memory thread used for? I will say I have never used memory thread before, but the bits that I am collecting are for my Spirit of Oz Santa. And it's kind of like... not, it's a crude example or a crude similarity, but you know, like with pipe cleaners, how you can bend them and twist them and put them into shapes. That's kind of what my understanding is the memory thread is for. You can twist them and put them and do them in shapes, and they'll keep that shape. There's a lot of, on the Spirit of Oz Santa, like a rainbow and other things that it's used for. So I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm just collecting right now. So I think that is all my Q&A for this week. If I missed your question because I was trying to do 2 weeks worth, I'm sorry. Feel free to ask it again on this week's video, and I'll be happy to get to it next week. All right, week in review. Monthly stitch-alongs we'll start with. I had finished the Magical Creatures calendar from Clouds Factory week before last, so nothing new on it this week. I did finish my Postcards from the World by Clouds Factory. I finished up Giza. And this is being done on 32 Jobelin and Ice Goddess from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, using flosses and silks from Mo's sale. So there is Giza in all its yellow glory, because there's a lot of yellow. I like my striped camel and my striped pyramid behind it. It just kind of worked out that way. And I did finish in the fiddly bits because I finished this section of the months. So I got the fiddly bits now with Kreinik in between. So here we go. There's January through June. Yay! And my minder is my Moulin Rouge minder from Delicious Threads. Have I started the Frosted Pumpkin one for this month yet? Nope. I am cutting it close, and I know it. That's okay. You'll see it next week, because I will have it finished for next week. Focus for a finish. I'm working on my Sundays You're the House by Coffee Stitcher Design, and I am doing this on a 28 Jobelin solo die from Silk Weavers, and here is where we are so far. I had started working on just the rows of the house, and then I decided to do the outline of the house to make it a little bit easier to fill it in. So the row is being done with the Weeks Dye Works, and then the outline of the windows and the door and the side of the house I'm doing with Foxy from Dragonfly Lotus. And this is the Wicked Witch Needleminder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So I'll keep working on that. Then this past week on the 24th, we had our monthly Color a Day stitch along for Stitch Mania, and for June it was pink. And I worked on Miss Valentine by Mirabilia. And I had some hanging threads left of green, so I finished the green, but then I did some pink also. So here is where she is at this point. She is being done on 28 Jobelin in a More from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So I finished up the green thread that I had and put some more leaves in her skirt. And then I worked on this heart outline up at the top. And this minder is my Blingy Needle Minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. I like these Color Day stitch-alongs. They give a pattern that you may not have working on currently a little bit of extra love. Then my annual Mania stitch-along this past week, it was Medieval Town Mandala by Chatelaine. And I am doing this one on 32 Lugana in Truffle from Picture This Plus. And what I got done, I have finished all of the detail in the flower bed. So I filled in the rest of the missing diamond eyelets and Algerian stitches. And then I started doing the outlining of the vines. So this vine got all fully outlined, and then that one I'm working on. So when I pick this up again, I'll work on finishing up those outlines before I move to the next part. That's my Jamie needle minder for minding my minders. Then monthly Mania stitch along. June is Wine and Whips. So for week 3, which finished up this past week, sorry, get this closed up. I finished up working on stitching ABCs from Design Works. And it's a kit, and here's where I got to. I finished up well, I finished the X's in the H and started working on that outlining and did a lot of the stuff over here for the sewing machine. So good progress. And I have a hook needle minder from Minding My Minders. Then week 4, which is still in progress, was the Tuscan Greeting from Dimensions. And here is where I am at this point so far. I've gotten some more of this part filled in. So I have this for another couple of days to work on. Feasibly, I could work it all the way till Thursday because Friday starts the next one. There is the little marker or little needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. Sorry, I keep getting messages popping up on my screen, but I'll keep working on this for the next couple of days at least. Then Year of Starts, got all my starts done for this week. The first one is from Just Cross Stitch 2000, the ornament issue from 2007. It was poinsettia, whatever you want to say, from Buttercup Designs. It's this one that's right here. And I am doing that on a 32 Opal Belfast Jewel from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here is what I was able to get done so far. I love the effect. I just love how that's coming through like that. And then here's my little girl needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then, see, so this one is going to go in my N through Z box over here on my other side. Then the next one that I worked on was from Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2015. It is Enchanted Pumpkin, which is this one right there. And I am doing that one on 32 Belfast in Knix from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here is where I was able to get to at this point. And I have my little Cinderella needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then the next one that I have is this Princess Gown from World of Cross Stitch issue number 220. And I am doing that one on 32 Joblin in Sailor's Delight from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Here I was working on the white in her gown. And my pretty blingy crown from Brenda's Minders and More. She's got a lot of great crown needle minders, just saying. Then the fourth one was from Just Cross Stitch Halloween, the Halloween issue from 2013. And it is Spell's Store. Just a really cute little pattern. And I am doing that one on 32 Belfast in Jack's Rum from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Here's where I started working on that little cauldron. I have my Regina needle minder from Minding My Minders. Then the next one I have is from Joan Elliott's Sentiments and Sayings book. It was Temptation. Lead me not into temptation. I already know the way. And I'm doing that one on 32 Belfast in Florin from Under the Sea Fabrics. So I started working on the text. Not in temptation. And then I'm using a little cupcake needle minder from from Nifty Needle Nannies. Sorry. Then the next one I had was from the Just Cross Stitch 2010 ornament issue. And it was Mosaic Christmas Ornament, which is this one right down here. And I am doing that one on a 28 count even weave, but I'm doing it 2/1. So here's where we got to at this point. 2/1, teeny tiny. But I'm enjoying it. And there's my little Nutcracker needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. And then the last new start for this week was an electronic pattern, so I will put a link to it below. It was Avengers from Pixel Power, and I'm doing this on 32 Joblin in Lunar Eclipse from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, and I worked on the outline of Black Widow. And I have my little blingy Avengers Needleminder that I got from Minding My Minders. So those are all my new starts this week. Yay! I did work on one whip this week. Only one though. Get all those over there. Sorry, something fell over here. I got to get some new boxes, I think. The one whip I worked on this week was Rhyme and Reasons by Just Nan. And this one is being done on 32 Joblin in Isolde from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And I worked more on the flower up at the top. And have the little birdcage needle minder from Minding My Minders and a needle on the back, apparently. Well done, Katie. Let's see, put that right there for now. So that was it for this week. Plans for the upcoming week. Friday is the 1st, so I will be pulling out my Magical Creatures calendar by Clouds Factory. So here is the whole piece so far. It's on 32 Opal Belfast in Diva from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, using flosses and silks from Mo's sale. So I will start on the July block, which is where the minder is right now. Then I will continue on postcards. I'll start with wherever we're going with the new postcard. Pumpkin Passport will get done, and I'll probably start on July. And then I have one more monthly set stitch along that will start on Friday, but I'll talk about that in a minute because it's a new start for Friday. I will keep working on my focus for a finished piece, which is from Coffee Stitcher. For the annual Mania stitch along, sorry, I have to move this for a second so I can read what's on my screen. It is a Brooks Books week for me this week, and from the Just Cross Stitch 2010 ornament issue, I am working on the Madonna and Child. And the last time I worked on this, I finished up the Madonna and Child part, and I started working on the first leaf. So I'll be working more on the leaves this week. Then for the monthly Mania stitch along, this is the last week of Wine and Whips, so I'll continue working on Tuscan Greeting for the rest of that. Then Friday starts the July stitch along, which is, it's a sunshine day, and it's basically that you work on any piece that has a summery theme or has sunshine or a tropical theme type thing. Summery colors count and all that. So for week 1, I am going to be working on Beauty and the Beast Fall in Love from the Disney Dreams collection because it's got sunlight and all the pretty colors. So here is where we are starting from at this point. Here we are. I have my Pinup Bell needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. So we'll see how much I get done. I'll do the same thing like I've been doing with Wine and Whips. I will show you guys what progress I have on Sunday or Monday now. And then just keep on going through the weeks. So year of starts, I'm going to have 8 to show you guys for this week because I didn't start a new one yesterday because I didn't want to start a new one without showing you guys first. And we're going through to next Monday. Hello. I'm almost done. You don't have clothes on. You can't come into the videos. You're not supposed to make a second video. This is the first one again. The first one didn't work. I'm almost done. Can you go? Because you don't have clothes on? So I can't show you? Yeah. Or you can sit down and watch me. In a minute. Yeah. Yes, you can. Yes. Okay, keep going. Sorry. So for the 3 of the starts will be G, H, and I from Prairie Schooler, from my Prairie Schooler alphabet. G is for garden, H is for honey, I is for Indian corn. Yes, I know that is not exactly politically correct, but I'm sorry. And I'm doing all 3 of those or doing the entire set on this 32 Joblin and Toasted Almond from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And which way? Here we go. Is this how it goes? Yes, this is how it goes. So here's where we are at this point. So these three will finish up this row, and then next month I will start on the row below it. So that's 3 of the 5 starts, or 3 of the 8 starts this week. So there's 5 other ones. So I'll do one of the, I have G scheduled for, well, since I have 8, I'm just going to say it's 3 of the starts, instead of figuring out which days I'm going to be doing what. Then I have Love You Mom from Bent Creek. And I am doing this on 28 Cashel in Lavender Mist from Zweigert. It's just pretty little fabric. And I'm using my, as I call it, my Teresa Needleminder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then the next 3 are all electronic patterns, so I will put links to them below. First off, I will be doing the Woodland Sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and I am doing that one on 32 Lugana in Heritage from Picture This Plus. I may actually do this one in the called for colors. I don't know yet. We will see. And I have my little, one of my Frosted Pumpkin needle minders that I'm using. Then the next one, which is a July 1st start. This one is definitely starting on July 1st. It is the Lakeside Needlecraft Stitch Along that I told you guys about a couple of weeks ago by Doreen Jones. That starts on the 1st for the border, so I will be starting it on the 1st. And I am doing that one on 28 Joblin and Nimue from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And I will be using flosses from Jottery, which I have already picked out. And my minder is my Unicorn Pooping a Rainbow from Nifty Needle Nannies, because why not? So I will start this on the 1st, and then it will go into the rotation with the other monthly stitch-alongs, because I don't have enough monthly stitch-alongs, clearly. Then the next one is another electronic pattern. It is Rainbow Dash from the My Little Pony collection from Pixels and Stitches, and I'm doing all of them on 14 count perforated plastic. So there's Pinkie Pie and Rarity. I have started Applejack, so Rainbow Dash will go right here next. And then the last new start for this week is July Delphinium from the Vermilion Stitchery Teacup collection, and this is being done on 32 Belfast and Whimsical Winter from Under the Sea Fabrics. So we'll start down here, because that's January through June, and have my little needle minder for minding my minders. So those are my starts. Yay! So whip wise, I have several holdovers, but I have 2 more to add to the rotation to make it 7 for the week, in case, you know, amazingly I actually get through a whole week. First one is Santa by Jim Shore from Mill Hill. It's a little kit. And here is where we are starting from. Got a good bit of done on Santa, so I'll probably still work on him some. And I have a little blingy penguin who's losing some of his bling from Gina's Unique Boutique. And then the last new whip for this week is Santa and Rudolph from Mill Hill. And got a little start. There's Santa in his beard and some of his hair. So those are my plans for the week. Sorry, I'm kind of rushing through this. You've heard I have a kind of demanding child today. Stashquisitions. Lots of needle minders, thread, floss, other stuff. Okay, first off is one that I'm really excited about. And if you have watched my Year of Starts preview video, which will hopefully be uploaded before this is all for my crown from Alessandra Adelaide. There are 3 boxes of Delica beads in gold, light gold, and silver lined clear that I will be using. Yay. Then my fabric of the month came in from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, and this is 28 Joblin in Junebug, which I love. It's beautiful. Not sure what I'm going to do in it yet, but I will find something. And then I also got in my flosses for the month from Jottery. Let's see here for June. Here are the 3 limited editions that I get. It's a Stitching Retreat. Then the rest of these are in just no particular order. This is Nile Princess. It's really pretty. This one is Raspberry Lime. This one is Tropic Blooms. This is Oil and Smoke. Then here is Citrus Spritz. This is Pale Peacock. This is Not in Kansas Anymore. This is Glinda the Good. Pretty pink and purple. This is Harvest Moon. And this one's Flying Monkeys. I like that one. Then I also ordered the Peacock Medallion Kit from Stitchy Box, and it came in. I think I have to put this in my July or August for year starts. But it comes with, you can't see the pattern, but it has all the stuff that you need. I'm so excited to do this. It's so pretty. Yay! Then the rest of what I have is needle minders, because you know I don't have enough needle minders. I need more. First one is from Brenda's Minders and More. I got 2 more crowns because she really does have a lot of great blingy crowns. And then a little tiny passport and a cute little pearl. Then from Nifty Needle Nannies, she had a quiz, like a trivia quiz contest, and I won several needle minders from there. So here's the ones I won. This is a Raven. This is Snape, and it says Always. This is I Feel Better After I Whine a Little, and this is How You Doing? Joey from Friends. And then the 3 Hooving ones I got. Bow ties are cool. Geronimo and Worst Rescue Ever. These are really cool. I like these minders quite a bit. She has more of them for sale. And then the last minders that I have are my first order from No Name Needle Minders from our lovely Kate, Queen of Starts. And these are just awesome. I've got the Time Lord. I have this TARDIS that's got funky things around it. And then I Became Insane with long intervals of horrible sanity from Edgar Allan Poe. And then this is Italy, and then Shopping Queen because they don't have a Stash Queen. And then the painting Starry Night. And then this one is Come What May and Love It, because Come What May is the song from Moulin Rouge that my husband and I danced to for our first wedding, or our first dance at our wedding. It's always wine o'clock somewhere. And then always remember you're unique, just like everyone else. I'm excited to start using these. So that's about it. I will be working in July on starting with Garrett to start getting ready for the stitch alongs for 2017 and Stitch Mania and start getting those planned out. The June video or the July Year of Starts video should hopefully be up before this. If not, it's up after this because it's already been recorded. But other than that, I hope everyone has a great stitchy week, and I'll see you guys next time.